Hey guys, summer is over. Oh man, like, you know, when you were a kid, summer went by so fast, but when you're an adult and you're working, summer just becomes another working season, but it's still a season. Anyways, I'm here to talk about my favorites of the summer, specifically comic books. So I have them on this Google list over here. So my favorite book of the summer, I mean, these are all in no particular order. So I guess one of my favorite books of the summer is Justice League. So DC has kind of like restarted everything with Rebirth, and that includes Justice League like 2 years after their initial Rebirth run. And Scott Snyder, Jimenez, they started it off earlier in May for No Justice, I think. It's a 4-issue miniseries, which you should read. It's really good. It really feels like the classic Justice League stories that you would read in like the 2000s and earlier. And with the new Justice League series, it actually takes the entire team from the original Justice League animated series and puts them into a comic book together for the first time since the TV show. So that's Superman, that's Batman, that's Wonder Woman, of course. It's the Flash, not Wally West, it's Barry Allen Flash. There's Cyborg, there's Aquaman, but the people who are now on the team, like the original, well, it's Martian Manhunter and it's Hot Girl. And it's not even Green Lantern Hal Jordan, it's Hal Jordan's John Stewart. So, you know, if you want to read some classic Justice League, that's what you want to read right now. Overall, the story is pretty good. It actually introduces the Legion of Doom. So, you know, it feels very comic booky and in a good way. It's much better than the run on Avengers, for example. My next favorite book of the summer is kind of weird. It's not a superhero book. It is from DC. It is Exit Stage Left, The Chronicles of Snagglepuss. That is a really weird book to put on this list, and in case you don't know what it is, DC has been teaming up with classic Warner Brothers identities to put stuff together. So they used to do single runs, I think last year, and Tom King, for example, wrote this fantastic Porky Pig tie-in to Batman, which was incredible. If you haven't read that one, look for it. It's the Tom King Batman Porky Pig book. It's really good. So following in line with that, there's Flintstones, there's Jetsons, that sort of thing. This one here is about Snagglepuss, that pink cat thing. So this is a weird one because what it is, it takes place during the McCarthy era when writers were being blacklisted and they were told to name names. And another layer to it, of course, is gay characters and being in the closet and being persecuted, that sort of thing. So if you're a fan of Animal Farm and it's all of its like kind of political allusions in it, then I really do recommend Snagglepuss because it's exactly just like Animal Town. Another favorite, I wouldn't even say it's a favorite, it's just a highlight of the summer, was the Batman wedding thing. So that was like, it really felt stretched out, all right? Tom King is a great writer, but the wedding thing really felt stretched out. There was the Batman titles, which got split into, I think, 3 stories, which were the prelude, and then finally there was the actual wedding. And there were tie-ins. There were 5 tie-ins for each of the characters. So it really felt drawn out, and I felt like the conclusion of it wasn't satisfactory, but at the same time, it really feels like a longer stretching arc. I think my guy over at Black Cat Comics, Anthony, was telling me that Tom King was planning to take it all the way at least to issue 100. So this is only issue 50, which means that there's more to come. But I will say that the fallout from the wedding is very good. There's a lot of projection that Bruce Wayne has to go through, and I love the atmosphere, the setting that they put him in. It's Bruce Wayne in jury duty, and he has to be the grandeur of Mr. Freeze, who he put onto the trial in the first place, and then he actually says Mr. Freeze is innocent and no one believes him. So it's a very good storyline right now on Batman. Another one of my favorites, and we're switching over to Marvel this time, is Daredevil. So I didn't really start reading Daredevil until, what's his name, Charles Soule's run. So, you know, there's been so many writers on the Daredevil series, and I've heard that they're all great. There's Frank Miller, there's Wade, there's Bendis. I actually don't like the Bendis run at all. I hate it. And anyway, so this one here, they're like the original first run of Daredevil with 10 Fingers. It didn't do it for me, but when he introduced the character of Muse, it got really interesting. And then when Mayor Fisk became a thing, it was like, holy crap. This is good. It's a really good run so far. It just feels like it's been building up since the very first issue. So if you haven't read any Daredevil at all, I encourage you, try and start from #1, but you could start on Mayor Fisk. There's just more gravitas if you start from #1, specifically the Charles Soule run. And during this time, they also switched to numbering too. So I think when it got closer to 600, it switched from the new volume on like number 27, number 28, and just skipped to number 595 to the original numbers of Daredevil. So I'm probably thinking, and I think it was just for the celebration to sell more comics for Daredevil issue number 600. But still, check it out. And the last one, I would actually say that this is probably my favorite. Like I know there's no listing on this, but like the most surprising for me was Donny Cates' Venom. Venom is, I've never read a Venom title. I'm not a big fan of the character. He's really cool as a Spider-Man villain, but I don't read him religiously. But I gotta say, like, the new Venom title feels a lot like Swamp Thing. The writing is on point and the artistry is fantastic. There's a few tines that are coming out now, I didn't know that, but I do actually want to pick those up because the whole mythos of Venom and symbiotes is forever changed for this issue. At least I think so. I don't know too much about the mythos, but Venom is something that you should definitely try to get the trade for because I think it's already approaching number 5 and they usually wrap up 5 or 6 issues into a trade. So those are my favorite comics of the year, the most surprising that of the entire summer, not the year, of the summer. Let me know what you guys think. If you picked up any of these titles, if they're in your pull box, let me know in the comments below. And of course, follow me on my YouTube channel for more videos and toys, etc. And my Instagram at little_nerd_busters for faster stories, images, that sort of thing. Until next time, guys, adios.